Hello, and thanks for joining me. I've watched quite a few statues fall in my lifetime. Stalin, the Shah of Iran, Saddam Hussein, and plenty of others. In 1991, I watched a crowd pull down the statue to Felix Dzerzhinsky, the founder of the Soviet secret police, outside the KGB headquarters in Moscow. That was a pretty good moment, I can tell you. Statues aren't just street furniture, you see, they mean something. And although in a dictatorship they're an expression of power, in more democratic countries they're supposed to represent the respect and admiration of society. But society's attitudes are changing, especially at the moment. I have to say I never used to like walking past a statue to Edward Colston, the Bristol slave trader, which is now being pulled down. If they put up a statue to an African slave in Colston's place, I think a lot of people would feel that was only justice. The same in Antwerp and other parts of Belgium, where statues to King Leopold II have come down, a thoroughly nasty character who personally benefited from the terrible exploitation of people in the Congo. Okay, so most people would probably agree about all that. But what about Mahatma Gandhi, whose statue in Parliament Square in London now has to be protected because of his unquestionably racist attitudes to Africans? Do those views, unacceptable though they are to us, really mean that London shouldn't show its respect for the other things that Gandhi did? And there's a statue in Parliament Square near his to the great suffragette leader, Millicent Fawcett. She was pretty dismissive about black people when she went to South Africa and was an ardent imperialist. Should she come down too? And of course, there's Cecil Rhodes in Oxford, pretty unpleasant character in his own right and an arch-imperialist, of course. But as a result of the system of scholarships he founded, 19 out of 100 currently go to Africans. A Kenyan Rhodes scholar wrote recently, "Colonialism is to blame for many of Africa's woes, but as a Rhodes scholar, I'm better placed to serve Kenya." And finally, what about Churchill himself? He was unquestionably an imperialist. So were most people of his time. He was controversial in other ways too. Yet, if it wasn't for him personally, London might well be dotted with statues to Hitler and Himmler today. Surely the best way to sort these things out is calmly and rationally and by agreement, not in a lynch mob manner. Western society in general, British society in particular, is definitely changing. We're starting to rethink our entire history, and a good thing too. That means we should decide who we want to show our admiration and gratitude to, and who we no longer want to celebrate. But let's be certain we actually know what we're doing. As a society, we don't want to be like the person who spray painted the famous street sign for Penny Lane in South Liverpool the other day because they'd read a sign in Liverpool's anti-slavery museum which said that the street was named after a slave trader called James Penny. Only now the museum says it's not actually certain about that after all. Too late for the street sign though. Thanks for watching. Till we meet again, goodbye.